Hi, my name's Charlie Turnbull. This is Delishops Discovers. This is the Scottish Retail Food and Drink Awards, and we've got Kim from Gin Bothy here to talk about her awesome gin. Now, Kim, tell us where you are. Where in Scotland are you?
So we're based in the northeast of Scotland in a beautiful historic village called Glams, which is in Angus.
Now, Glamis is where the Queen Mother comes from. So, and you're you're looking at royalty there. So it's a proper heritage gin you've got going.
Yeah, it's one of the most award-winning gins in Scotland, and our gunshot gin is definitely something that is taken in hip flasks in lots of hip flasks. Let's just say all throughout the area.
Yes, I'm sure. Yes, let's leave it there. Can't name drop without permission. But so let's start at the beginning. So we've got off on a humorous foot. So you have a range of gins that you're producing in Angus, and we've learned through the Scottish Retail Food and Drink Awards, there's a lot of really good food coming out of Angus with a lot of provenance. So tell us a bit about your story.
Well, I actually get called an accidental gin maker because back in 2015 I won a world championship making jam. And one of the byproducts of making jam was I had lots of fruit and
Sorry. A world championship.
yeah, there is such a thing. It was held in Dundee at the local Food and Flower Festival. And one of the byproducts of making jam, as you'll know, is lots of fruit and juice left over. So my mum said, why don't you add it to gin? Because that's what we used to do. And this was back pre-gin boom. And the jam bothy, long story short, became the gin bothy. And we are really lucky. We live in the most beautiful part of Scotland that grows amazing fruit. So I follow the seasonal fruit calendar, raspberry, strawberry, blueberry, sloe, back into late autumn raspberry for my fruit liqueurs. And then our spirits were something a little bit different. We wanted to create a range that was literally Scotland in a bottle. So I do an original classic London Dry with heather, milk thistle, Scots pine and rosemary, 100% natural and sugar-free. And then another range of spirits which would bring in our gunshot. So things you can drink neat on ice. So a little bit different. So there's no mixer needed. You just drink this neat as you would up the hills going to a bothy.
Wow. So can you hold that gunshot up? I'm looking at it. It looks golden.
Yeah, so the colour comes from the cassia and the cinnamon. So this is a winter warmer. It got its name because it's the same colour as bullets and it gives you an inner glow. So this is something, if you're
Unlike
maybe
bullet.
not a whiskey drinker, but you like something a little bit stronger, it's full strength, so 37.5% alcohol, and it just warms you, and it keeps warming you from the inside. So you've got cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg and spice with Scottish honey. So it's sweet, but it gives you a real kick, and it's the only way I get up the hills now.
Yes, you're gunshot powered. And your spiced rum's got a darker look to it there.
Yeah, so the rum we actually launched this in lockdown. So we launched this last year just because I had a little bit more time. And it's something that we've been playing about with for quite a long time. It's unique because it has Scottish saffron in it. So there's a local farmer that grows saffron, and he said, Kim, could you do anything with this? And I thought, well, it maybe isn't something I would look at with a gin, but we infused it with the rum. So this is a rich spiced rum. Again, I drink it neat. It's a 40%. And the colour comes, the richness of the molasses. We're in an old smiddy, bothy, which is where horses came to be shod, and we've been feeding molasses to horses for years. So it kind of made sense that in the bothy, not all spirits were whiskey or gin, that rum was a really big part of our Scottish heritage. And saffron just gave it a little bit of an edge. It almost creates an orange flavour that comes through, and I didn't strip the molasses, which gives it this really rich, almost like a treacle colour, as opposed to the golden that we have in the gin.
All right, well, break it down for us. So I have been predicting that rum is the next big thing, mostly because I like it. So give us a taste of it and tell us what we're taking. So I'm assuming that the rumminess is up first, but then you've got the molasses. Can you taste the saffron?
You have a sense of, well, I wouldn't be able to differentiate between the saffron, but it gives a richness. It almost brings up the citrus notes. So the orange comes through slightly more, and I think that's enhanced by the saffron. It's a very, again, warming, very like the gunshot, but it's a rum that you could have just on the rocks. So we create it, a mojito and classic rum pours. But actually, for me, like all good things, if you strip all the mixers out and just have it neat on the rocks, you get a real sense of the depth of flavour, and the richness that comes through. Every bottle's hand numbered, hand batched. So this one here is batch 2 of 2020. So we batch about 200 bottles per batch, so still very small batch, and something we think is quite special.
And so what are your volumes? Where are you selling at the moment? What are your volumes? Give us a little bit of commercial background.
So commercially, we sell through, we've got 4 wholesalers. So we wholesale into mostly small independents, so farm shops, delis, places that consumers are going that really value good quality, hand numbered, hand batched. We don't supply into supermarkets. It's something that I made a decision to do 5 years ago now, and probably would have made a lot more money if I'd done it. But there's something about producing in that kind of volume that wouldn't have stayed true to the Bothy brand. So we sell independent retailers. We attend shows throughout the UK, and hopefully that helps support the retailers in those areas. And we do free online delivery as well. So I guess we don't really have distribution in the south of England, but we send about 40% of our online sales are all going into home counties. So there's definitely people there that have heard about Gin Bothy somewhere.
I do think there's something about the home counties that makes them lust for Scotland. Maybe it's the very flatness down there that they just want to get up into the hills and take a break. But I know lots of people for whom having a souvenir of Scotland to make the ambience come alive is something that's very, very valuable to them. I mean, so those are your two. Are those your 2 best sellers?
In terms of our full strength spirits, we do our original gin, which again, classic gin drinkers will be their go-to. Gunshot and rum, and then our raspberry, which I'll just lean over and get here. So from a fruit liqueur, this is definitely our best-selling fruit liqueur. 100% natural. You've got boom of Scottish raspberry coming through. It's a 20% liqueur, so it works really well in your prosecco, your champagne. A lot of people use it for cooking over raspberries. So that, in terms of fruit liqueur, I do 13 different products. Everything from fruit liqueurs to spirits to something a wee bit different. And this one here, another Great Taste Award winner, is our chili gin. So this was the first UK chili liqueur. And I guess I'm using nature's calendar to create different things within our spirit range.
Yeah.
So 13 of a family, but our main core would be our original, our gunshot, and our rum for 2020. And they also come in, our country collection. So if you want a tiny bit of Scotland to take away, I do these super cute little minis that retail normally between £5. So something that people can take away, and they work brilliantly in hampers. They're in Christmas crackers this year. So they're a really nice way to take something home. Solid and square, like a Bothy, and something a lot of people upcycle and use these wee bottles for flowers or lampshades.
Well, they've got a real decanter feel about them, haven't they?
Well, do you know, the Bothies in Scotland, I know not everyone has maybe seen or been in one, but they've been on our hills and our mountains for a long time. And I wanted something that was solid and square, it's recyclable. And I guess that for us is part of the brand. We're more than just a gin. The stories and songs and culture from the Northeast are a really big part of our brand. And if anyone is ever in the area in Glams, you can see here, that's our little Bothy experience. You'd be more than welcome when you're allowed to come north.
That's a lovely invitation. So you better say out loud what a Bothy is, so that just knocks that off the table.
So a Bothy in the Highlands of Scotland is a shelter where you would go if you're up on the mountains and the weather changes. In the lowlands of Scotland, it's maybe a shepherd's house, or where the farm men, the lads, used to live. So it's like a bachelor pad of the day.
Yes, that's the way I think of it. Yes, I know a lot of Bothies in the borders kind of thing, and not well swept, I would phrase them as.
No, and they're essential shelters, but they're also now a kind of off-grid luxury experience. So you kind of disconnect to reconnect, and there's a real culture of, staying in bothies and taking your mountain bike or your friends and heading up to the hills. For us, the bothy is where I create our gin. So as you can see here, the bothy on our brand. And it also has the pathways, because people come and go from bothies for lots of different reasons. Even people that have moved Nova Scotia, Canada, America, the bothies were very much part of their kind of northeast heritage, whether it be a fishing bothy, a highland bothy, or a farm bothy. So yeah, the bothy is the experience we have here, and it lets people see. Even now, if you come to Scotland, if you're up shooting or if you're up on a Highland adventure, you probably have a lunch in a bothy at some point. So it's a little house. Think of it like that.
House. So let me sum up. So you were into jam. That was where you began. Around you in Angus, it's the raspberry triangle. It's amazing for fruit, which sort of some people find surprising about that part of Scotland. But actually, you've got fantastic raspberries and soft fruit. And you found by accident that it made awesome gin. And you thought, I'm mining this seam, and you've now got award winners, a 3-star award winner. Remind us, which is your Great Taste Star award winner?
So our 3-star Great Taste was for our gunshot. Our original is a 2-star. Our fruit liqueurs are all between 1 and 2. The rum I've only just entered this year because I only created it and bottled it for retail in August 2020. So I'd like to say that every one of our gins is now a Great Taste Award winner, but the gunshot is definitely something special. It's different, and it kind of breaks a category because it looks like a whiskey, but it's a gin. So yeah, if you haven't tried it, I definitely recommend you have a.
I will look forward to it. But now you're looking to win at home. You're a finalist for the Scottish Retail Food and Drink Awards. This is your home patch. What would it mean to you to win?
Do you know, it's a huge accolade. I think there's so much competition within the spirit sector that it's really important for small independent family-owned brands like me to enter these things, because the big players often wipe the boards with awards. And I guess none of us have worked this hard to give up. And certainly with COVID, consumers recognise awards, they recognise achievement, and we have been on the scene for quite a while, but probably not on the supermarket shelves and not in the places that some customers would see us. So I think any award gives customers confidence. It lets them see that we are creating amazing products from the Northeast.
That's fantastic. It's so nicely put as well. Well, I think your products are amazing. I really love the strong branding, and I love the deep roots you've got it both in cultural terms, but also in product terms into your area. The best of luck, Kim. I really hope that you do really well next week when the awards are announced on Thursday. And all the best in really getting your product out there across the UK.
Thank you very much.